Alright, so next VS is how you can learn martial arts at home by yourself. And it's by Dan Lok. Now, in case y'all been with me for like any of the martial arts practice I've been for past couple of days, I've been doing it ever since I first time doing it, and I know for a fact that you already see me, you know, do every single time a martial arts training. Uh, Me, of course, but I decided that I will be, but I will be going to martial arts school until then because I was thinking I think I might try something new instead. So yeah, but until I'm almost ready, cause I was thinking that um let's just say um I need somebody else to train with me because I think it's almost time for me to do. I think it's almost time to be ready to start my uh career. And I know I know it's gonna be taking a long time for me to get back on YouTube, but probably so. And hopefully, and hopefully it turns out very amazing. And yeah, man, I'm I'm about to be ready. And um, even though I'm still willing to be ready for as long as it takes. So yeah, but yeah, man. Comment down below if you ever train martial arts at home. Let me know, cause I'm probably gonna do more. I'm probably gonna do more than next time, just in case. So yeah, but let's check it out in five, four, three, two.
So maybe you are not so lucky, you always have a Sifu teaching you one-on-one. One of the most common questions that we get from my channel is, Dan, Steve Octavio, I'm training on my own. There's no dojo in my school. I don't have a training buddy. How can I practice and learn martial art from my home by myself? What do I do? So let me give you 3 tips today. Tip number one, I think the biggest problem is training on your own is you don't get feedback from an instructor, right? So you have to kind of learn how to self-correct. So watching videos, and that's why we make these videos for you, so you can follow along, you want to watch it multiple times to learn the move, and then to make sure you do the move correctly, the first thing we can do is, Sifu, practice in front of the mirror, correct?
Yeah, mirror is a great way to start. I mean, if you don't know how you're structurally moving your body, you gotta, especially if you're watching our videos and you go in and just scroll through, you can see it, try to imitate it, put the mirror in front of you and put the video up and just follow along.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a great way. And that's why we're releasing videos, is for you to learn. But I mean, you won't get the feedback, you're right, just what you were saying. But the mirror is a great way to start.
The mirror, it's if you watch it, if you are kind of critical, right? Don't no delusional. You think you're better than you think.
Right.
But actually look at the mirror, look at your stance, look at your center line. Okay, this is off, or it's my elbow in, or all these things. It will teach you a lot. So I think practice in front of the mirror. That's tip number one. Number two is if you don't have a training buddy and you don't have someone to hold a pad or that you hit something, is to get a piece of equipment. Very often, I mean, Sifu, I think is the same way. We train on our own. We don't always have a training buddy. Get some kind of a heavy bag or get a bob, right? Get a dummy or a wooden dummy, whatever it is to practice, right?
The bob, I think, is probably best. The heavy bag is quite heavy. If you're hitting it wrong, you might end up hurting your wrist. That's why it's probably good to get the gloves with the strap and where you can brace that wrist. And because if you're throwing full hard on punch and you don't even know how much you're delivering, you can practically crack your wrist or hurt your shoulder or do something incorrectly.
Yeah.
So the bob actually kind of gives you a little bit more.
And then it's got the
labor.
head
Right.
movement, and it feels a little bit more like real,
Something
right?
with springs in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be best for you. But yeah, that's about the only thing I can really recommend if you're doing this on your own.
You know you are an obsessive martial artist when you have all kinds of like weird equipments at home. You know,
Yeah.
you hang a piece of paper, you got like a ball here hanging, and you're hitting. Right.
Right,
That's
right.
kind of what happens. And you got something in your backyard like this sandbag. That's when you know a serious martial artist, right? All kinds of stuff. You know, you go to Home Depot, you try to find an iron bar thing to hit your forearm with.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So that's the second tip. Practice, get some equipment. Start with just one or two. You don't need to go crazy with equipment. And the third thing is anyone can work on, which is something I learned from Sifu. It's you work on your physical ability, right? Doing the push-up. Because the first time I met Sifu, I said, Sifu, how do I develop explosive power? Because I was expecting some, oh, this is gonna be good. Some like earth-shattering answer. You know what he said? Push-up. Then do some push-up. I said, what? Yep. And then he showed me like 10 different ways of doing the push-up. I said, okay. So that's it, right?
You have to practice yourself. I think the biggest suggestion I can give everybody out there, especially if you're trying to follow Bruce Lee, I know everybody is inspired by him and they want to do exactly what he did. To be honest with you, he was an entirely different individual. You're going to be someone different. You're going to have to work on yourself first. And the basics are the push-ups, the squats,
And we should read the spring. Right?
the
Yeah.
sprinting, the running,
yeah.
you know, especially if you're young, run, you know, and do all kinds of activity stuff. I mean, the great players like, I'd say football in Europe or soccer here in the U.S., those guys are very physically athletic. I mean, watch the way you're training too, because if you overtrain, that's where you start to kill your adrenals.
Yeah.
So you have to watch what you eat. You have to watch how you're training, how much time you're spending on it. There's all kinds of training regimens that we can provide at a future date. But again, biggest suggestion is to start small. Don't go in there and start thinking, oh, all right, I'm going to be able to split this paper. Hold on, I'm going to practice this until I split this paper. It has nothing to do with that. It's about how much focus and intent you have through the entire training process.
Yeah, and that gives you, if you I can split that piece of paper, it gives you a false sense of confidence, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, best you want to have some kind of training buddy, and you want to have some kind of Sifu. There's nothing can replace that. Like we're giving you 3 tips where you absolutely cannot find an instructor in your town, and you cannot always travel. Maybe you don't have that privilege. It's start somewhere, anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, when you get to a point where you could definitely find an instructor, that's the best way to go. Also, make sure you check out Sifu's. I'll put a link at the bottom that you want to learn from him and the other virtual training. Do that.
I'm a subscribe.
Start with that. No excuse. It's not, oh, I cannot find a school, so I don't train. That's nothing more than excuse, right?
Yeah.
So you can start something today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make sure you go to watch our other GKD videos. We have a lot of videos. Watch, practice in front of the mirror. Make sure you also find a couple pieces of equipment, and then train, get fit. So, I mean, with me, I'm busy. I've got running businesses, but I still got to put in the time, and you got to train.
I guess that's the only reason why I wasn't focused on that one. I mean, if I could try to get a mirror, then I would try to do that one without breaking it, because that would be a very situation. But yeah, man, I will definitely get. I will definitely get some amount of equipment for me to start. Even though if I would try, you know, if I ever get my own house, I will try to get equipment as much as I can, and somehow I get like a bunch of mats for me to start there. And yeah, man, cause the only reason why, cause the journey of it is because the journey of it is to like learn every martial art, learn pro wrestling, and every single time, cause I mean, I would have to start martial arts school first, and then try to practice, cause that's the only reason why I need a training partner and a seafood as well, because even though if I ever wish that I wanted to learn more martial art, then I'll be willing on waiting, ready for it. Sorry. I'll be willing to wait, ready for anything I have, because I guess I can start there. Oh, sure, later, but yeah, yeah. Comment down